Welcome to the 2023 World Series, my friends, where we have a historically unprecedented matchup between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Texas Rangers. Let me clear this up first. There's a lot of controversy towards whether this is a great World Series matchup that is awesome for baseball fans. This is what we all wanted. Or this is just trash. Nobody's watching this garbage. It's not going to be interesting. And the interesting thing is that I don't think the people who are commenting these things even realize how controversial their comment actually is. The people who are saying that this is what everyone in America wanted and stuff, they think that that's what everybody wanted. That they think that everybody's in agreement with that opinion. But then there's the side of the people who are saying, this is trash, ain't nobody watching this. They think that everybody's in that boat, but it's not the case. It's pretty split. So overall, it's decent. I understand how this is. It's overall going to get terrible TV ratings. It's Diamondbacks Rangers. It's not an appealing matchup to the casual, but to the big baseball fan, it's definitely pretty cool to see. But also as a big baseball fan, I wouldn't have minded a more iconic matchup that really defined what this season was in this era. Like an Astros Phillies rematch would have been better. Phillies Rangers, that would have been the best. This is better than Astros Diamondbacks though, for sure, because the Diamondbacks in it, but against the Astros, where the Astros are heavy favorites, that would have been terrible. Diamondbacks Rangers is just okay, let's have fun. So, you know what else would be nice is if you guys subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this video, and make sure you tap the notification bell so you don't miss more content. We have a lot coming, and we've produced some good stuff in this postseason of 2023, this weird season of MLB postseason, this weird World Series matchup that we've gotten, just a weird year of sports, a weird year of life, and this Diamondbacks Rangers really added to that. But I got my prediction for y'all. I was leaning towards, okay, this is going to be a quick series. I had the Phillies in 4 in the NLCS. And then I was like, oh my God, the Phillies really have to go back home to Philly for Game 6. Oh my God, there's really a Game 7. And then the Diamondbacks win the series. I had Phillies in 4, and I was feeling great about that after they won Game 2, 10-0 to go up 2-0 in the NLCS. However, they didn't win, obviously. And in the ALCS, I had that being a great series. I had it being a 7-gamer. I had the Astros get in the last laugh, though, which did not happen, which I'm happy about. Texas got it done, especially now that it's the Diamondbacks that are in the World Series from the National League. I'm thrilled that it's the Rangers from the AL, thank God. But here's my prediction. I got the Texas Rangers in 6. I was thinking definitely going with the Rangers. I'll doubt the Diamondbacks one more time. But the Rangers have faced a lot of doubts as well, and this is the first time that they've been the home field advantage team in a series, the first time they've been favored in a series, and it comes in the World Series. They were dogs in the wild card, and now they're favored in the World Series. That's extremely rare, my friends. They've just won 3 straight series as the lower seed, as the dogs, and now they're the favorites. I see them beating the Diamondbacks for sure in this series. However, I went with 6. Not closing it out in 4 or 5 on the road, which I'm hoping is the case. Rangers in 6 would be a lot of fun. I'm hoping there's a Rangers in 6, Rangers in 7 series. I will be rooting for Texas. I don't know. The Diamondbacks winning a world championship is almost too weird to ever even process. I don't know, man. I feel like this Texas Rangers team is the more fun baseball team, to be honest, just because they're not quite as much of an underdog story as the Diamondbacks' historic underdog story. That doesn't mean they're not as fun. The Rangers, I think, are the more fun team to watch, and I think the Phillies were a way more fun team to watch than Arizona was, which is why I was completely going for, well, I'm from Pennsylvania, but I was completely going for Philly in the 2023 NLCS, and there was some controversy there, but I genuinely think that out of any team that I've watched in my 12 years of watching baseball, the 2023 Phillies were the most fun team to watch. That was an epic team to watch, and it's just tragic that after all this, the playoffs in the National League seemingly running through them ever since they beat the Braves, and then started the way they did against Arizona. Red October the 2nd was one of the great sequels you could ever ask for. And then it just collapsed. Really unreal stuff that the Phillies are not in the World Series. I 100% counted the Diamondbacks out after Game 2, and I think most people did. You know what I'm saying? But for this series, I think that here's the point that I want to make. Teams like the Diamondbacks, who are making incredible, shocking runs, they don't tend to always win championships, but they don't tend to go out sad when they do lose. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Diamondbacks are going to get swept or even lose in 5 here. This is why I have it going back to Arlington. I think the Rangers are going to play way better at home than they did against the Astros. I'm really confident in Texas in those home games. I think the Rangers take 3 of the first 5. They go back home to Arlington, Texas for a game number 6. Adolis Garcia hits a big home run and the Texas Rangers win the 2023 World Series, which is cool. That franchise, honestly, those fans in Texas need it more than the Diamondbacks fans do. I think both teams, it's dream season for them that they went to the World Series. They both did not expect this, of course. But the Texas Rangers don't have a world championship in franchise history. They have experience being in the World Series. So ultimately, there's still pain that comes at the end of the season for the Rangers if they lose in a World Series, because remembering their last appearance in the World Series 2011 and how that ended. Whereas the Diamondbacks, I don't think there's as much pain involved if they lose this series as there would be for Texas fans. But player-wise, like, you got Corbin Carroll, you got Ketel Marte as the Diamondbacks' top-tier duo at the top of that Arizona lineup. Corbin Carroll started to turn things back around in the last couple games of the championship series. Ketel Marte is a beast. And then you have power hitter and Christian Walker. Hasn't done too much, but he remains a power threat for them. And you have, of course, Gabriel Moreno, the young catcher who's broken out in this postseason. On the Texas side, you got the better lineup for sure, because you need Semien to start doing something. This is a really long playoff run. The Rangers still have a whole best of 7 ahead of them in this 2023 postseason. Will Semien finally turn things around to some extent, at least? We'll have to see. But I don't know. It's a little not surprising to me, but a little interesting that they keep him at the leadoff spot despite having struggled for this whole month of October. Corey Seager is an amazing number 2 hitter to have, and then Adolis Garcia has established himself as that guy for Texas in this postseason. So Seager, Garcia, both homered in Game 7, an amazing duo to have for Texas in the lineup. But then you got Evan Carter, who absolutely has Hall of Fame potential. We'll have to see where that goes. He's only 21 years old, acting so calm, cool, and collected in the month of October. I think Carter is going to have a great career. I really do, and he's a big factor in this Rangers lineup in this series as well. He didn't even start against Framber Valdez, the lefty, in the ALCS, but the Diamondbacks aren't going to be throwing out any left-handed starters, so expect to see Carter in there every single game, possibly hitting third some of the time. It's fifth, sixth. He'll be up there in a big spot for Texas. You got even like the bottom of the lineup for Texas is better than the bottom of the Diamondbacks lineup, because you have like Leody Taveras, who's had some big moments this postseason, including a home run in Houston, batting ninth. You have Jonah Heim as a great hitting catcher. You have Mitch Garver as another great hitting catcher, probably going to play more DH when he does play, but he's a power threat. The Rangers are just a very good team. Josh Young, phenomenal as a number 8 hitter for them. So the Rangers can do a lot. They can beat you in a lot of ways in that lineup. And then on the starting pitching side of things, Game 1, we got Zach Gallen against Nate Eovaldi. Game 2, we're going to have Merrill Kelly taking on most likely Jordan Montgomery. Game 3, shifting to the desert, it'll be Brandon Pfaadt for the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on probably Max Scherzer. The Rangers haven't officially announced their order beyond Eovaldi Game 1, but I would assume that it's going to be 2 Monty and 3 Scherzer. Yeah, for sure, that's what it'll be. That's what it'll be, guys. And then Game 4, the Rangers 4 starter, they kind of do a thing with Heaney starting and Dunning coming in out of relief, and then the bullpen will take it the rest. Whereas the Diamondbacks don't even do a 4th starter. They just do a bullpen game from start to finish. So this is the first time for Texas. The other 3 series was Game 1 Monty, Game 2 Eovaldi. That flips here, and the reason is because Jordan Montgomery came out of the bullpen in Game number 7. Eovaldi was the Game 6 starter, but Monty started Game 5 and then came out of relief in Game 7. So Eovaldi slightly fresher to start Game 1 of the World Series at home. Both of those guys, the former Yankees that I watched a lot of on the New York Yankees, both shining here in Texas in the 2023 postseason. and they're looking to become World Series champions. So is Aroldis Chapman, which I would not. That's one thing that I can see this series honestly shifting towards Arizona for a game. I can see Aroldis Chapman losing them a game single-handedly for Texas if Bruce Bochy puts him into a big spot. I do not see why he would be trusted in a big spot. He's been pretty chaotic. He's been pretty lucky. I remember game 1 in Baltimore, super lucky. He threw 6 balls to start the bottom of the ninth with a 1-run lead, and then he got bailed out with a big ground ball double play, and then a caught stealing in there as well. So absolutely just the kind of stuff that is not trustworthy. Aroldis Chapman, he looked pretty decent at the end of the Houston series for sure. He found 104 for the first time in years, but he hit a dude with it. I just can't trust him in a close game scenario late. Where's the Diamondbacks bullpen? This is where the Diamondbacks have the edge. The bullpen. Ginkel looked so good in game number 7 at Philadelphia. His stuff was absolutely and utterly wicked. And then Seawald is a very calm, cool closer to have for the Arizona Diamondbacks back there. So that back-end duo was great. I wouldn't trust the rookie. What's his name? It's kind of like a 2-part last name almost. I can't remember it. I didn't write notes for this because we're just talking from the heart here. But, yeah, the one Diamondbacks rookie that threw in Philadelphia in Game 7 and left a couple men on for Ginkel to clean up the mess. I wouldn't trust him too much. But Jose Leclerc, he was looking trustworthy until the Altuve moment in Game number 5. But overall, he's a decent closer to have. I wouldn't quite say he's as trustworthy as Seawald is, though, in this World Series. But that's my prediction, fellas. Texas will win the series in 6. I would be highly surprised if the Diamondbacks won the series. I really would be, despite how well they've played all month and how they've gone by the first 3 rounds with a hell of a lot of doubters. I don't expect Arizona to win this series. I absolutely don't. I think the Texas Rangers are... I know they finished just 90 and 72. I honestly think the Rangers are better than that. The Diamondbacks are obviously right now a better than 84 and 78 team. They're in the World Series, of course. But the Texas Rangers... By the way, the Diamondbacks have a negative run differential. Which team with a negative run differential in the regular season goes to the World Series? I want to know if that's ever happened, to be honest with you. And the Diamondbacks... are half a game better than the worst team to ever win a world championship, the 2006 Cardinals at 83 and 78. The Diamondbacks are 84 and 78. So this is historic stuff. You don't see 84 and 78 teams make. The Diamondbacks have the worst record of any team who made a normal postseason in a season that I've ever watched baseball in my 12 years. They have the worst record I've ever seen of a playoff team. They literally do. And they're in the World Series. Baseball is weird. I honestly wouldn't even be opposed to MLB doing freaking best of 7s for 4 rounds like the freaking NBA. No, that's a little bit of a stretch because the only reason I wouldn't want that is because that allows 16 teams in the playoffs just seeded 1 through 8 in each league. And the problem with that is not that those bottom teams... I don't think it's a problem to have those bottom teams in the playoffs. I think the problem is that the regular season has so many meaningless games for the good teams if you do that. You're talking those top 4 or 5 teams in the league who know they're going to make the postseason. What, you want people to just sit on their couch all night to watch the games just to see what seed they get all season when you know they're going to make the playoffs? It's just for seeing that. That's not cool. So it's good how we have the division races, big thing, trying to win your division. And then a couple of wild card spots, not entirely safe, with there being 6 spots, the right amount. This is what we should have and what we do have. But I guess the only thing I would do, well, there's a couple things I would do, but in terms of the number of teams and number of games, keep the number of teams, but make the division series a best of 7. I really think that they should do that. Why not? The MLB playoffs are definitely a bit short. We could absolutely add a little bit of fairness and excitement, making that series a best of 7. I would miss the best of 5 a little bit because it's kind of iconic. It really is iconic. It's the only time you get to see a best of 5 in playoff sports with the MLB Division Series, so I'd miss that a little bit, but there's really no reason that it should be a shorter round. Absolutely not. But yeah, fellas, that's my take. Rangers in 6 in the 2023 World Series. Leave your pick below. You know what I'm saying? We got short form content on TikTok and Instagram, so make sure you check that stuff out as well at Centerfield Media. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the Fall Classic of 2023, a historically weird edition.